What would a car designed by not one, but three Chinese tech giants look like? How would a car with the best batteries in the world perform? And what about a car with connectivity and infotainment like we've never seen? Well, in this video, all of your questions are gonna be answered, as we take a closer look at the Avatr One-Two, a new Chinese EV that might just rival the likes of the Porsche Panamera and Mercedes-AMG GT63. So let's get straight into this. So Avatr is the brains behind this operation, and is yet another amalgamation of some of China's best tech and automotive companies. Avatr represents a joint venture between Changan, CATL, and Huawei, which is a serious blend of technological proficiency and production power. Just a couple of years ago, they launched their first model, the Avatr One-One, and simply put, it's awesome. We've actually got a much more in-depth video looking at the history of Avatr and the Avatr One-One. So when you're done watching this video, make sure to check it out. The first striking feature of the Avatr One-Two is the exterior design. At first glance, it looks very similar to the Porsche Panamera. The slanted A-pillars, low belt line, and sloped curves all bring to mind the German model. However, this thing isn't a copycat and has plenty of unique features when you get up close and personal. For instance, from the front, the Avatr One-Two comes equipped with sporty-looking split LED headlights, coupled with a modern, curved daytime running light. All of this is connected to a central grille, which is much more subtle than what we tend to see from companies like BMW these days. Round the main body, you'll notice that the Avatr One-Two doesn't have traditional door handles. Instead, the company has opted for a system where you just press a button to reveal the door handles. This adds to the futuristic design of the One-Two. Also, how can we not mention that the Avatr One-Two doesn't actually have a rear window in the traditional sense? Instead, Avatr's made use of a panoramic roof that stretches all the way to the rear end of the car. This kind of design's been used in models like the Tesla Model Y and definitely adds a sense of luxury to the One-Two. You'll also be surprised to hear that the Avatr One-Two doesn't actually have wing mirrors. Now, you might be thinking that the company clearly doesn't want drivers to be able to see what's going on behind them, but let me finish. Instead of traditional mirrors, the Avatr One-Two will actually make use of side view cameras. We're starting to see a few companies move towards this method, particularly with larger vehicles like Mercedes' RX trucks, and it'll be interesting to see how well this technology works with an everyday vehicle like the Avatr One-Two. And then finally at the rear, you'll be able to see a pop-up spoiler situated just above a pair of extremely thin taillights. These taillights are one of the most unique features of the Avatr One-Two, giving it a very sleek and sporty look. To compensate for the sheer lack of taillight, they'll be fitted with LEDs. The entire exterior looks surprisingly sporty, and all of those unique styling touches definitely make it stand out against other luxury sedans like the Panamera. This futuristic luxury design only continues inside the cabin, which Avatr's labeled a cocooned sensory cockpit. But before we take a closer look at the cabin, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more car reviews and automotive news that you seriously do not want to miss. The entire cabin's incredibly minimal and modern, making use of sustainable materials such as mother of pearl. We've seen a couple of different colorways, but the most standout is definitely the two-tone white and purple. You'll also notice that there are literally no buttons to be seen, as Avatr's opted for a completely digital system. This isn't going to appeal to some, but come on, it does look awesome. Speaking of infotainment, you're getting not one, but two huge screens with the Avatr One-Two. The main infotainment screen sits just above the center console, and then slightly above this, you'll find a massive 35.4-inch 4K panoramic customizable display. All of this is supported by Huawei's Harmony OS 4.0 operating system, as well as Huawei's ADS 2.0 driver assistance. We've talked about this tech in a lot more depth in our video on the One-One, so make sure to check it out after you've finished over here. The tech doesn't just stop here though. The Avatr One-Two also features the world's first intelligent windshield, which will automatically adjust its tint to allow for just the right amount of light to enter the cabin. The sunroof is also intelligent, adapting to light dynamically to ensure optimal driving conditions. Oh, and you know how I talked about those digital wing mirrors earlier? Well, just to the sides of the panoramic screen, you'll be able to see two HD anti-glare screens, which will display the image from the camera. Even the seats are innovative. The One-Two features the world's first front-row double-zero gravity seats in a sedan. You could control these with the touch of a button, and there are plenty of different modes that you could choose from. Avatr said that these will provide coziness and comfort for both the driver and passenger. Avatr's even added a bunch of technology to help you set the right mood. For instance, there will be a total of 27 speakers surrounding the cabin, which are controlled via Avatr's intelligent sound system. To set the mood of your journey even further, you'll have access to no less than 64 different ambient lighting settings. So whether you're looking to get hyped for the gym or, set the mood, the One-Two's got you covered. Then finally, you'll be able to choose from one of 3 nature-inspired fragrances to fill the cabin as you drive. This is something that I've genuinely never heard of before, not even from the likes of Rolls-Royce. It's really sounding like you're going to be very well looked after in this car. The One-Two is also practical. There'll be more than enough storage space for all of your cargo requirements, thanks to a large boot as well as innovative storage solutions like a hidden flip-up storage compartment in each door. There's even a wireless charging pad in the center console that automatically changes positions when you accelerate or brake so your phone won't drop to the floor. Now, with all this refinement, you might be thinking that the One-Two will be a weak performer. I mean, it's gotta have some flaws, right? Well, you'll be pleasantly surprised to hear that the powertrain running the operation is good. Very good. At base, the One-Two will come equipped with a single electric motor producing a respectable 308 horsepower, all of which will be delivered to the rear wheels. But if you're after more power, you'll probably be interested in the dual motor variant, which produces a whopping 659 horsepower. The dual motor variant will send the power to all 4 wheels. We don't yet know about the exact battery pack that the One-Two will use, but we can probably expect the same CATL batteries that were used in the One-One, with the base model using a 90.4 kilowatt battery pack and the dual motor variant using a 116.8 kilowatt battery pack. So when is this beast of a car going to hit the showrooms? Well, we don't have an exact date, but we do know that sales will begin in China sometime during the final quarter of 2023. And as for price, you can expect to see this sit at around the $50,000 mark. However, if you don't live in China, you're not completely out of luck. One of Avatr's directors, Li Penghang, recently revealed that if the One-Two sells well in China, they may think about selling it to other right-hand drive markets. He didn't say anything about the US market, but the fact that the company's even entertaining a discussion about exporting to Western countries like the UK is a massive deal. So speaking of the Western market, let's take a look at how the One-Two measures up to competition like the Porsche Panamera and the Mercedes-AMG GT63. Well, for one, the Avatr One-Two is about $35,000 less than the Panamera, and about a third of the price of the GT63. Sure, these cars have around 100 horsepower more than the One-Two, but is that worth tens of thousands of dollars? What makes the Avatr One-Two so different from its competition is all of that unique technology. Sure, the competition may be able to accelerate faster than the One-Two, but in a practical everyday setting, what's more important? A cabin full of tech that'll make every aspect of your journey more comfortable, or the ability to go 120 miles per hour when the speed limit's 70? I'm gonna go with the former. That $50,000 price tag's also much more appealing. Avatr's building a car for the masses, not one that looks great on paper. And the Western market's genuinely lacking an affordable EV solution that provides a great user experience right now, making the One-Two all the more impressive. Ultimately, the Avatr One-Two might just be one of the most impressive cars to come out of China, period. It's solid under the hood, looks awesome, and has so much technology inside that we could talk about it for hours. And for that price tag, you'll be stretched to find something in a Western market that could offer even half as much. Let me know your thoughts on the Avatr One-Two in the comments below. And on that note, I'll catch you in the next one.